and let me put the password as Cyberark1. Now let's say we have one more user called Vishal. We have one more user called Ajay. Okay, now I have created these users. I have created, Ajay, Sai, Vishal. I think one, two, three. Let's create one more user called Vipul. And the password for Vipul is I need to provide. Okay, now we have four users. So I am making administrator to Ajay. I will add Ajay as an administrator here. So I've added administrator Ajay into this administrator group. I'm making auditor to Sai. Then I have a safe manager which I'm making to Vipul. And who else is left? Yeah. Then like a normal user, I would say just read only user to Vishal. Okay, now we have created four groups, and accordingly we have added the users as well in this group. So anybody who is joining as a Cyberark administrator would simply needs to go in this Cyberark administrator group. Somebody who is joining as a Cyberark, this thing, auditor, he needs to go under this group. Somebody who is a normal user, he needs to go in this group. Now we need to make sure that our CyberArk is able to communicate to our Active Directory first. The second is able to navigate to these groups as well, so it can understand that who is intended for what access. So we need some sort of Active Directory account, or I should say Active Directory user, which can read the attributes in Active Directory, and it can provide the details to CyberArk. So let's say if I want to do some monitoring on a server, at least I should have rights to get into that server, and then I can see the monitoring things. Okay, if I were to see the services on this server, so at least I should be able to RDP this server, then only I can see the service status. So similarly, the CyberArk would also need a AD account to get into your AD and see the attributes. So that account is called bind account. So we'll create one more user here called the bind user. So bind user basically nothing but it is a read only user which has rights to read the AD attributes. Okay, I have created bind user as well. So now for AD integration, we require few things. So four groups we have already created. Okay. Now second is the bind user. Bind user we have also created. The third is the connectivity. So connectivity is something which we require from the world server to the to your Active Directory, so that CyberArk can communicate to AD. So connectivity is 389. 389 TCP port is needed so that your vault can communicate to the Active Directory and it can read the attributes. Attributes in the sense it can read the groups, like who are the members of the administrator group, who are the members of auditor group, who are the members of safe manager, who are the managers, who are the people under the CyberArk users. So if anybody logs in who are not a part of any of these four groups, the bind user will check the membership of that person. If he's not appearing in any of these four groups, it will simply deny access. Okay. Now this is the LDAP port. 389 is the LDAP port, or I would say the plain LDAP port. There is one more thing. There is one more port called 636. This is also TCP 636, but this is called secure LDAP port. Okay. So in both the ways you can connect to your Active Directory. Either it is 389 or 636, but 636 is basically the secure port. I will explain you how to configure secure LDAP as well, which is called SLDAP. Okay, so as LDAP also we will do. But first of all, let's integrate our Active Directory. So it's very simple. Go to the PWA, go to settings page, and sorry, I need to log in again. Okay. Now I have logged in into the PWA page. Now you can see something is called user provisioning. User provisioning is nothing but the AD integration or LDAP integration. So it's not necessary that I could have only one domain in my organization. I could have multiple domains as well. Okay, let's say I have I have one company. I have acquired one more company. Right, this could be my acquisition. Let's say if I have two more companies. I have one acquisition, I have one subsidiary as well, and the users of this would also be logged into the CyberArk application. So I need to integrate multiple domains so that these people who are appearing in different domains can also authenticate to the CyberArk. So as of now we have one domain, but we have a capacity to onboard multiple we have a capacity to integrate multiple domains. That's not a problem. So the users from different domains can authenticate to CyberArk with their domain IDs. You need not to set up their IDs exclusively in CyberArk. They can leverage their domain IDs, whatever available with them, and they can authenticate to the CyberArk. And the only thing you need to do is add them in the respective groups. So now we would type the domain name here. So what is our domain name? So we have domain called cyberlab.com. So as of now, we don't have the SSL. The SSL is nothing but the secure LDAP. So as of now, we don't have thing. Now you can see all the instructions over here. What is needed? Get the public domain certificate and relevant domain controller certificate of the requested domain on the vault machine IIS machine. Select add remove snap in on the file menu, add certificate from the left. And this is something that when you do when you want to do the secure LDAP connection. Okay. So as of now, we don't have certificate, so I'll skip this. As of now, we are just integrating our Active Directory with the LDAP port, that is 389. Then bind username. So bind user we have created is, this is my bind user. Bind user. Bind user at the rate my domain CyberArk CyberLab. Then the password of this bind user CyberArk 1. Then domain based context is nothing but the segregation of domain. Let's say if I have a domain called, for example, okay, let's say if I have a domain called cyberlab.co.in. So the base context would be dc is equal to cyberlab, comma, dc is equal to co, dc is equal to in. This is the base context. Okay, this is nothing but the segregation of your domain controllers by a comma separated value. So in our case, our domain is just cyberlab.com. Okay, so our base context would be dc is equal to cyberlab, dc is equal to com. That's all our base context is. So I'll put it over here. If everything is fine with, I mean, I have this password is correct. I have this user created in Active Directory. I have connectivity to the Active Directory from my vault. I should be able to establish the connection. Otherwise, I will see an error. Okay, I am able to see that. I'm able to see the domain controller server over here. That means I have the connectivity. I will just click on this. You can see the port number is 389 as of now, since we have not done the integration with 636, that is secure LDAP. We can do it in the later phase as well. This is the IP of my domain controller. This is the server name of my domain controller. I'll go next, connect. Now it is asking me to declare the Vault admin group, safe manager group, auditor group, and the user group. So I need to declare those groups which I have created in the Active Directory. The Vault admin group would be CyberArk. You can see it's automatically populating the groups. CyberArk administrator. I can also see the users which are appearing in this. So Ajay is the person who is the CyberArk administrator. Safe manager. So that would be CyberArk. I think we have not created safe managers here. Okay, I think spelling is wrong. SYB. Okay, I have got the spelling wrong. So SY. So you can see CyberArk Safe Manager is appearing. I can see the members as well. Vipul is the person. Auditor. This is the auditor group. Users. This is the users groups. Now all groups are defined. That means whosoever are the part of these particular groups would see the relevant access as per their membership. Let's save the changes. our Active Directory is mapped to this domain. Now let me log off. So since till now we have been authenticating with the CyberArk authentication, but now we can authenticate with the LDAP as well. So I choose the LDAP authentication and I will type as Ajay, the password of Ajay, the domain password CyberArk1. So Ajay has logged in with the domain authentication. This is Ajay, and he has logged in the domain authentication, and you can see that it can see all the tabs as well. The most important tab is this administration tab. If you can see the administration tab, that means you are having the admin rights. I can see the reports, I can see their applications, I can see the policies, I can see the accounts, I can see the system health status as well. That means I am the admin. If I log in as a normal user or an auditor, for example, Sai is our auditor. So we will log in as with domain password, domain account, I would say. Now you can see that all he can see is like accounts, application reports. That's all he can see because he is an auditor. If somebody is just a user, he is not even an auditor. CyberArk user. Vishal is a normal user. All he can see is the accounts. Only if he is a member of some particular safe in which accounts are onboarded, that only those accounts he would be able to see. Since we have not created any kind of safes in which we have onboarded the accounts, he is not able to see anything at all. The only thing is able to log in. That's all it is. He's not having any access to any account, not having any access to any tab either. So this is the normal user case. So through this, we are basically maintaining the segregation of duties by this particular group. Plus, we are making sure that we need not to create any kind of we needed to create any users specific into the CyberArk. We are just adding users into the respective groups, and from these groups these people are inheriting the permissions as per their daily duties. So somebody is a member of admin would be able to perform the admin level activity. Somebody is appearing in that auditor, he would be able to do audit level activities. So this is simple. This is something called the Active Directory integration, in which you can simply integrate the Active Directory with your PVW.
Ajay, if we add some means more than one domain, so how can we connect through LDAP? We need to mention the domain where in a.
Yeah, again, so let's say if I need to connect one more domain, so it's the same process, nothing difference here. Now let's say if I have a domain too which I need to connect, so I'll go to this thing again, LDAP integration. Simply click on this new domain, specify again the details of it, just like we did it for the first domain. Click next, define the groups, and you are done. So there is nothing like you need to do anything. The only thing, the prerequisite should be met up. You should have the bind user from that domain. You should have the connectivity from that domain. That's all it is. You
Okay,
can,
but in sorry,
yeah, please continue.
if Vishal have are in two domain, that is CyberArk Lab and another one in domain is CyberArk AD, something like that. So how to
Right.
connect with the LDAP?
So you're saying that Vishal is appearing in two domains, right?
Yes, yes, right.
Yeah, so ideally that doesn't happen because if somebody is appearing in two domains, let's say if I have I have a membership in two domains, I have a requester access in domain A. That means I can request some access in domain A, and in domain 2 I have added myself as a approver access. So this is something a kind of compliance issue. Only a user should have access to CyberArk with only one ID. you cannot authenticate to Cyberark in a domain, into Cyberark with multiple domain accounts. It is a doable thing though. I mean, you can definitely do it, and you would be able to authenticate as well. That's not a problem. But from the compliance perspective, that is not needed. Okay, that is something you need to make sure that you do not have multiple IDs to log in to the CyberArk. Reason being that every ID consumes a license. Now we have added 4 users. The moment you log in with a CyberArk, it will consume a license. Let me show you here. Now we have added 4 users, right? So the this end user license is called the EPV license. If I go to license capacity report, EPV license, you can see that 50 licenses were there, out of which 3 are consumed. Okay, so 3 are consumed because we have logged in with 3 accounts. We have logged in with Sai, we have logged in with Vishal, we have logged in with Ajay. If I log in with one more user, I think we have one more user here. Safe managers also we had. So we have Vipul. If I log in with one more user here, okay, now I have logged in as a safe manager. You can see safe policies, application reports, and I just log off from here. So the moment someone logs in, he will consume a license. So now if you see earlier we were able to see only 3 licenses were consumed. Now we will see the 4 licenses are consumed. Sorry. You can see the 4 license consumed. So we do not want a same person is consuming 2 licenses. We need to make sure that a single person is provisioned only through a single ID. It should not have the multiple IDs. Practically, is it possible that you can integrate multiple domains, and if somebody is appearing in multiple domain groups, he would be definitely having access to CyberArk. But operationally and from the cost perspective, it is not doable thing because it will consume a license. So you need to be extra cautious, like somebody is not provisioned through multiple domain IDs, and he is doing some sort of mischievous act into the system. So ideally, it is something which should be tracked on a prompt basis, and his access should be removed. That that reminds me one more thing. Let's say if I am a member of this, administrator group, for an example, I have an ID, domain ID, which is added to administrator group, and I have an ID which is added into this users group as well. Okay, I have my domain ID added in this particular administrator group. I have my user ID added in this user group. So what access I would be having, whether I would be having the user's access or I would be having the administrator access. So whichever the hierarchy which comes up, I would be owning that access. If I'm a member of his administrator group, that means I would be owning access to the administrator level. Okay. So whatever the groups which is coming up, administrator group is coming up, I would be having access as per the administrator. Though I'm a member of this user group as well, okay, this will not limit my capability. I would always be having the admin level privileges. So that's all it is.
So the license will be assigned two or one. Means.
So license will be consumed, as long as I have a different ID. So here the ID is same, though I'm a member of 2 groups, but the ID is same. The user ID is Ajay only. If I have one more ID, let's say for example, I have one more ID called Ajay underscore ADM. This is again my second ID. If I log in with the second ID, then license would be consumed. In this case, the license will only be one license only be consumed. But in the another case, if I'm logging in with Ajay underscore ADM as well, my license would be consumed. So I think we are good till here. Now there is a small topic. I would say that whenever we install any component, as I told you, in the Vault also, in the PWA also, in the CPM also, going onwards, any component would have 3 things. First is the prerequisite. Second is the installation, third is the hardening, or maybe in some cases we might have post configuration as well. Okay, so we are done with the prerequisite with the PVWA. We are done with the installation. Now the thing is hardening. Hardening is again the same thing, which basically we are adding some sort of restrictions into the server of our PVWA, so that it is not compromised by any attackers. We are limiting only the services which are actually needed for the PVWA functioning, and we are removing all the services. We are removing all the extra protocols which are not needed for our PVWA functioning. So if you have seen that I have captured a snapshot over here. So in case if something goes wrong, we can revert the changes. Hardening is something a reversible, non-reversible event. So that's the reason if something is not working properly, you can revert to the earlier state. So we'll simply run the PowerShell script here. I will navigate to this thing, and this is the same thing that we have done for the prerequisites. This is the hardening script here. Now, what it is doing actually, so that can be checked from this hardening configuration. What exactly it is making, what changes it is making actually. So these are the things it's making actually. These are this is nothing but it's more about configuration file. I mean the changes it's going to make. I think this is not descriptive enough. Yeah, so these are the changes that it is going to make in our PVW server. Okay, disable services, disable screensaver, event size and retention, event log size and retention, file system audit. So basically, we require certain parameters to be available in the PVWA, so as to make it perform better, and also we want to limit the protocols only to the required ones. So let's say if there are 34 services running on my PVW server, but only 28 are needed, 6 services I do not need for my PVW to function, I will simply disable those services. The same thing that we have done manually in the vault, you have those script in the AWS, the network adapter hardening, as well as this hardening thing we have skipped though, but in the PVW we would be doing it. Okay, so it's very simple. I just let you know that what needs to be done over here. This is your hardening script, you just need to run it. I'll go ahead, run as an administrator over here. dir make it full screen once. It's not running. So it will just remove all the protocols which are not needed, and it will basically make it a server as limited only to the required services. So there are a few things that were done here. Parsing configuration file. It is failed to parse the configuration file because I think I have opened it. Let me close this thing. Let me close this the PWA as well. Close this as well. I think something is blocking here. I think we were doing as without the admin level privileges. Let me do that now. PVW underscore hardening. So now it's performing the hardening steps. Now, whichever the things which are not needed, it will just check and disable those things. So you can see there are a lot of parameters which were not unwanted, I would say. So these are getting stopped here. It will further populate a log file which we can refer. What are the things that it has disabled? So now this is succeeded. Okay, so this is hardening got succeeded here. Okay, and we have the corresponding logs created as well. So this basically completes our PWW installation. We have done the prerequisites, we have done the the installation, we have done the AD integration, and then finally we have done the hardening. So this is the PWW installation is done.